Hi, thanks for stopping in today. I wanted to talk to you about a really important tool that I use in my certified instructor journey for QuiltWorks and Judy Nehmeyer teaching of paper piecing. That is something called Quiltster, which is a computer program. It's an online subscription-based computer program. And what I've mentioned in previous posts is about a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but that Quiltster will let you do. And rather than going on into a long explanation of all its different attributes, I thought what I'd like to do is just to give you a little bit of a preview of what Quiltster can do for you and what is available for you should you decide to go ahead and subscribe to Quiltster. Again, it is an online subscription. You can purchase it by the month, which is like $10 a month. You can buy it by every month, so pay as you go. And if you only want 3 months, then you just um, make that payment every 3 months. But if you want to buy it by the year, you do get a bit of a discount. Instead of having it be $120 for 12 months, it's $100 for 12 months. But being a certified instructor, I use it almost daily. Not only do I design my own things, but the things for my students. So with that as a premise, let's head over to the computer and see what I can show you as far as how to use Quiltster. So what I've got here is the beginning opening page of Quiltster. It is the home page. You can become a member over here where in the upper right corner where it says become a member. You can click on that and you can pay. It just says here auto renew every 30 days or for a year. But because I already am a member, what I have to do is log in. Now, all I do is I just do this and go, and then I've already got my subscription logged in. But what it brings you to is my dashboard. Now, you have up here across the top, it says Marketplace, Quilt Planner, Gallery, Blog, and Support. Those are each very, very important tabs for you to know what that means. Marketplace means that if you want to buy something or you create something and then you want to buy it, meaning the pattern or the fabrics, Marketplace is the place that you go to do that. Quilt Planner is where I live. This is where I do most everything, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today. Gallery is where you can go to say, for instance, I want to do a sundial sampler with a starfish border. That's where I would go and I would search for that and find other examples of that. There is a blog that is associated with it, which I haven't even begun to have the time to do that, but it's important because they blog about a lot of different things in here pertaining directly to Quiltster. Now, support. Again, I haven't gone into that very much, but what I will tell you is that they have tutorials. There's a lot of tutorials about how to do things. So right here down below where it says recent projects, the next big caption is tutorials. And it tells you how to create a new project, how to upload your fabrics. And then there's different events that you can see where things would be available to you for different purposes. But the thing that I want to show you today is how to create a new project. Now, over here on the left, where under says Quilt Planner, there's Dashboard, My Projects, Quilt Patterns, Quilting Fabrics, and then there's Start Here. There's all kinds of different things to explore, but what I'm going to show you is right here underneath Recent Projects, where it says Create New Project. I'm going to click on that, and then that wheeling circle of thing begins, and it takes you to things, to the list of patterns. Now, inside of that, you can either search your pattern right here, or you can fine tune and filter out some of these options. First thing I'm going to do is over here in the upper right hand corner where it says newest first. This is simply how I like them listed. Personally, I want A to Z because I can find things more easily from A to Z. And numbers come before letters. So this particular pattern starts their whole series with fourth, as in number four, 4th of July. That's why it's at the beginning of the whole thing, because it starts with a number. So now the next filter, I've done my first filter. I'm going to go over here to the next filter, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on designers, because guess what? There are more designers in Quiltster than just Judy Niemeyer. I bet you didn't know that. So there are all these people that are here inside of Quiltster, and I am looking for Quiltworks. When I click on this Quiltworks button right here, boom, it's going to filter out everybody else that is not Quiltworks. So that's what I want. I'm going to only look inside of a Quiltworks pattern. Now, what I'm going to do, and they are in alphabet, alphabetical, I can't hardly talk today, alphabetical order by Quiltworks patterns. As you can see, these are all A's, and I am going down to the bottom of the list because there's a number page tab. Now, I think that, well, we're going to go as far as page 9, and we're going to see where we end up in the alphabet. Well, that is in the P's. I need to keep going to get into the S's for Stella Maris Mixer. P, Q, R, still going to R. We were beginning to get into our S's. So we're going to go to the next page 10, keep on going until we find Stella, ST. We need to, oh, there we go. That's Snowfall Mixer. Now, just as a FYI, when you are looking through anything that is in Quiltworks or Quiltster, and you're looking and you see nothing but line drawings here, what this means is that this is a mixer series. And you can see you have your variation of 68 inch to 80 inch. There's a king size, which is 116 inches square. And then you also have 99 inches or 70. So this is a snowfall mixer, and you can get it in the square, and you can get it to be really large. You can get it on point, which is what the Father Time King at 116 inches, as well as the 99-inch squares. It tells you exactly what you can get. And then the last one is a snowfall mixer tree skirt. Well, guess what? You can get a round quilt as well. But inside of that, you see some line drawings and that have letters inside of them. And that tells you that you will have, like in the very first one where it says 68-inch wall, there's an A in the center. There's the B's that go around the outside. And then there's the border, the outside border making a square, which is an F. You go into the next one, which is an 80-inch wall. And again, you have an A and a B, and that's the same. But what is the circle part of that is a G unit. And then what makes that square is a C unit. If you look right below that, you can see where the tree skirt only has the A and the B and the G. So there's the beginning of an idea of what can happen inside of a mixer series. But we're looking for the Stella Maris. So let's keep going until we find the Stella Maris. So there's a snowfall mixer. Well, guess what? We have a solstice queen mixer. And there's a queen and a wall. Okay, that's two out of their very many mixer series. Okay, let's keep going because we need to get to Stella, which is an ST in the alphabet. So here we go. There's a star baby. We're getting closer. Starburst, star of fire, star of valor, starry night. Stars are a very common theme. So now, okay, after steampunk fairy tale comes Stella Maris. So you can see that there are one, two, three, four, five. Oh, look, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 different variations of where you can go with this mixer series. Now, inside of that, let's take a look at the very beginning, which is up here. It is a Stella Maris, and it's a 45-inch square. Well, there's another one. I think that is the smallest that you can get. It's a two round wall hanging that is 45 inches. Two rounds, meaning that inside of this, if you look in the if you look at the line drawing of that picture, the very center star has J units. And then the echo that goes and fills out in between all of those stars is a K unit. And then your border, to make it square, is an E unit. That is the smallest that you can have. And that talks about the two rounds, which would be J and K with an E border. Then you go on to the next one, and the Stella Maris three round. is a square. It's 57 inches square mixer. And you have a J unit and a K unit. And then the next round around it is an L, our L units with a B border to be able to make that square. So again, J, K are the center and the first round. L is your third round, and you'll have L units. And then your outside border is a B border. Now, if you look between those first two examples that I gave you, there's the first one, which is the 45 inch, and the next one is the 57 inch. The 45 inch has an E border, and you'll notice that it's different because it has fewer points to encompass inside of that border. Then your B border is bigger and there's more to it. There's more rounds to it. And then that makes the border have to be bigger, excuse me. So if you look down to the next row, there's the 3 round with a C border. So up until this 45-inch square is inside of this 57-inch square with a border to take it, with the B borders. So then you look again, and then this the 68-inch square has everything that is in the 57-inch. The 68-inch has an additional border, which is your C border. So it has J units, it has K units, it has L units, and it has B units. And then you get a C border. Well, guess what? In order to make it bigger, now you can set it on point, everything from the 68-inch, set it on point, and you have all of the same selection capabilities, and then you add a D border to it, and then it becomes 99-inch square. So that is just the tip of the iceberg on what we're going to do. The thing that I want to show you as well is that from your C border, excuse me, your 68-inch over here with your C border, and you look at the end of that same line, you have a 4 round 68-inch. The centers are slightly different, only in that you have a different kind of border after your J, K, and L that comes into it. You also have an additional round, which is your M units. So you have a J and a K and an L. You add in an M unit round, and then you have a different border yet again. The variations are start to becoming just incredibly huge with what you can do. And then the same kind of a thing happens when you go down to the next row. You have a 4 round 99-inch square. You can have an 80-inch mixer with 4 rounds in it. You can have um, an 85-inch medallion mixer that has a completely different border series that goes into that, and it has 3 rounds in it, but a border that makes it into 85 inches. And yet again, here comes some more options where you take uh, the uh, the Stella Maris King mixer that has 4 rounds, and then it goes up to 118 inches square, and a Stella Maris Medallion 99-inch mixer that is a bit different than the 85-inch Medallion mixer. So just in all of that, that's just as basic as you can get. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and take a look. We're going to pick one, just one. And we're going to go into, let's take a look and let's see about this 4 round 68-inch square mixer. So you click on that and it tells you about your block groups or your unit groups, J, K, L, M, and F. And that's a bigger picture of what we were talking about before. When you order this or if you use this, then what you'll do is you will design what you want, and then you can purchase this as a grouping from Quiltster itself. And we'll get to that some more. But mostly what I want to do is I want to show you how to get inside of this and work inside of this. So now we're going to, and you can come in here and do this yourself. You will want to go in and come down here to where it says create project. Because if you do this add to cart, you're going to send it directly to the marketplace, and you won't have a chance to work inside of it. What we want to do is create a project. So let's click on that, and we want to do customize, okay? And there's no picture. It's blank because we haven't made any selections yet. So we're going to customize. We're going to do a project name, and we're going to say Stella Maris demo. Okay. And a short description, it's YouTube demo for how to create a Stella Maris. Okay, now I'm going to go create project. And it's going to give that circling power or of everlasting waiting. So it's building it. It's putting us into the proper place. Now inside of this, as you can see, wherever I hover with my little pointer, that place lights up, and that place lights up, and this one. And if I'm going to select the blocks that are going to go inside it, I have to choose something. And I like to start in the center. You don't have to, but this is what I'm going to do for right now. So over here, I have selected this. Well, as soon as I click my right left click, there we go, a left click, you can see how that became shaded like that. So that tells me that that's what I'm going to work inside of. Then I go down to this great big blue button down here and it says edit. You click on that. Now it brings it up. Well, look at what we have here. These are the options of what you can have your center star look like. Those, and it's diamonds. And there are 6 options. You can pick any of these 6 options, but just for grins, for right now, I'm going to pick this North Star one over here at the bottom left. We're going to click that, and it fills it in. Look at that. I'm going to save and close because I'm not ready to color, but it gives you a shaded in um, diagram of what that looks like. So now I'm going to go to the next, click on that till I get that shaded area, go down to edit, and it's going to give me more selections. Okay, well, let's pick one. I'm going to pick again this bottom left, and we're going to do this one. And here we go. I'm going to do a save and close down here at the lower right hand area of that screen, and that's what that's going to look like. How about that? So let's pick this one, and now we're going to go and see what options we have. Oh, this is fun. Now, there's another 6. I can continue some of this. This is the Moroccan star, which is really kind of cool. Or I can pick a pine cone, or a sunstone, or a crystal jade, or a checkerboard. This is really fun. But I think I'm going to do the sunstone crystal in my round 3. And here it is. This is what that looks like. Oh, that's looking really fun. I have one more of here. Let's pick this. Let's go into that. And this is my M units. Hmm. Let's pick this one. This is the fractured glass. And that's what I'm going to have in there. Now, that's starting to look like a poinsettia to me. I don't know why, but it is. But now I can go in here and pick this big border and see what my options are here. Let's see. Okay, I can either do the one on the left, which is Star Shimmer, or the one on the right, which is a tiny raised border. Let's pick the Star Shimmer border and see what we get. Okay, and there we go. I have picked I have picked a series of design elements and I want to see what they look like. Well, I'm thinking that that's really very, very busy. So let's go back in and say I want to change the border. Okay, there's the border. I'm going to go back in here and that now over here in the left corner, right below where my little cursor is, it says change block. And it turned green just now, and I'm going to click on that. And it goes back in there. I know that I have the Star Shimmer border in there. I'm going to put the tiny ray and see what that looks like and see if I like that any better. And there we go. There it is. I have lots of different uh, options on where to put color and stuff like that. I kind of like that, but let's put that. This is this one. That's what I want. That's very busy. I think I want to make that a bit more simple. So I'm going to go back in here, and this is a highlighted area that I'm doing. So again, I'm going to go down over here to the bottom left where that big black bar is, and where it says change block. I'm going to go and click there where it turns green. I want it to be a bit more simple. So I could either go back to the Moroccan round and make it look very much like the ones next to it. No, I'm still not crazy about that, but I am working inside of that so I can go back again. I click the same area, I go back down to edit, and then I go back over here to where it says change block, same place. What I really want to do is still, I'm looking to make this more simple. So blank star round, there we go. It's going to change those and look how that goes. Oh, I'm starting to like that much better. I do, I like that. But I still think I want a little less movement in here. Okay, I'm going to click the other one, which is, let's see, we're going to go back down here, down to where it says change block. See if we can put a little bit more in. Oh, we have a blank one. This is your M unit. So there's that. And let's see what it looks like now. Now, see, that's actually very simple. And you can see that there's different coloration on those units. When I bring it in here, then you can see how that lightens it up some. Um, I want to try one more thing and see what the outer border will look like if I change that back to the original one that I chose to start with. Let's go back here and put this star shimmer border back in and see what that looks like. And maybe that is something that I will like better. Nope, I don't. It There's a lot of busyness in there, and I think I'm still going to go back to that tiny ray border. So let's put it back. Here we go. Back to edit, and then back over here again to where I do the change block. And I've got the one highlighted that I am working in. We're going to go back to this tiny ray border. Okay. And there it is, and save and close. And it takes me back out to this. Now, the coloration on it you are completely able to do as whatever you want. This order, this in here, where this is dark right on top of this, that does not mean that that is what I have to stick with. I can put whatever colors I want in these areas. So that's really exciting to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and going to start to color. But before we do that, I want to come over here and I want to show you the different things that can do over here. So there's yardage, there's print, there's share, then duplicate, save, which is a hard save to do after you're all done with everything. And then there's a pause or an auto save. It's basically always saved, as you can see right there. But let's go back in here and see what I've got. Now I'm going to choose this section. There we go. It's going to highlight it. There we are. And now edit. So I'm working inside of here, and you can tell as I move my cursor around that there are different places to be able to pick color. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different places for color. What I am going to do first before I do anything else is I'm going to um, do my filters. Over here, over on the right, where it says all fabric, you click on those 3 lines that say filters, and this is what you find. Now, you can do any of this. You can pick by fabrics after you've done your own, your designers if you know them, the release year or the shipping year or the company or the collections. The fastest way for me to get color is to do this. I select on the all collections. Here we go. Let's bring that back. And I'm going to go right down here to 1895. Now, I use 1895. As this is loading, you'll see what I mean in a minute. I use 1895 a lot because they have a huge selection of fabrics inside the collection. And you can start to see. And then there's this button at the bottom that says more, which means there are more to load. And I'm going to keep going and add several of these pages. The reason that also the reason that I use 1895s is that these are boutiques. And I would say that out of every quilt shop that I've ever been in, they have some amount of these in stock. Not anywhere have I found all of them in stock, but some amount of them are always in every quilt shop. And that's because you're a great fabric to bring in for color variation and of good quality fabric. Now, um, what I do is I use the 1895 line to simply act as a color suggestion. It does not mean that I can only use that color. It means that from this coloration, I will then go shop my own stash to see what I have that'll fit within that. And then from there, I go to my local quilt shops to find what else I need in order to get a close representation. Keep in mind that if your fabric in your home, in your stash, has print on it, as a print design, it's going to look different than what we are going to be finding in the 1895 collections. It's just a color representation. So I do not have all of them loaded yet. I think I have to go through probably at least another half dozen more screens. But you can see at this point that there are hundreds to choose from. It gives you a wide variety of fabrics to use. And I think I'm only going to load one more just to give you an idea. And what we'll do from there is now I have a pretty good um, selection of colors to use. And now I'm going to start plugging some fabrics in. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I just want to begin. And that's the best that I can tell you is that just begin. So the one that is over here is I'm going to pick that color. And you can see that it has colored it in. Now I'm going to pick another color that I want to, let's see, I want this one here. There we go. As it changes, you can see where that gradient is. It changes color and it lets you do things. But as a suggestion, I think I'm actually going to go down and do this color first and then pick a different color and find maybe something that I like that will work in there as a medium color even. So then I have, yes, oh, I like that quite a lot. Now I'm going to go find, here we go. And it does take a little bit of time for it to catch up to you. You will always move faster than it does. So in the middle of my uh, light colored background, I want a spike color that is not the same as the two others that are uh, medium and dark down below. Well, that's pretty sharp. I like that blue. Let's try a different color blue. That's rich. I like that one. I'm going to just save and close. Now I've begun to get that going, but I don't know. We'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to pick this one next. Okay. And I am going to come up here and put this pretty blue. Maybe not that blue. Maybe I'm going to put this blue here. This is that first blue that I put in there. And now we're going to put in that dark blue. We're going to go opposite. There's that dark blue that I've already used. There we go. Nope, I didn't get it out, but you can see how easy it is to get your colors mixed up and not put them in there in the proper place. Let's pick this place right here. There we go. Now we do this. And now I want this to be a light colored blue or something. I'm going to look over here on the list of colors and see where I can find a very pretty light colored blue. Okay, there's my first two units that are colored. I'm kind of liking that. But what I want to do is I like that bright blue. I'm going to put that back in the center. I really like that. So here we go. I've got this selected. Now I'm going to go down to edit and I'm going to go back up here. I want to make sure to use that very same color again. So I want to show you how you go back up to the top. You just scroll back up to the top and there's some really interesting stuff happening. So we are just in our J units right now. But you can see where what is highlighted up here in the red, that's J2. And that J2 is that, oh, there we go. It says midnight. It'll come back in a second. You have to move out of it and back to it. There it goes. It says it's an 1895 midnight. That color is this color right here, which is right below it, catty corner. That's the midnight. But I want to change that to a different color, and I'm going to put it into this color because this is what's in this whole row shows me the palette that I am using. It just says this is where I am at and where it's be this palette, this unit has those colors coming from. I'm going to change that and put it back into here. And there we go. Ah, I like that. Let's take a look and see what that looks like now. That I like. It brightens up the whole thing. So I can keep going and I can bring this color. We're going to do this into here. All right. That's a plain color, and I need to figure out something that is not the light blue or the light green that's over here because what if I make those the same colors, it's just going to blend right into it and I won't see it at all. I think I'm going to go with a medium green over the green. There we go. There we are. And I need it again over here because it's two prongs. I can use it on either place. I want to make sure that it's going to be the green. This is what I want. And I'm going to put it over here so that I have green over the green. Yes, there we go. And now I'm going to bring this back over here and highlight those, all of those over the blue points. Highlight, I'm going to bring that color blue back in. Very good. There we are. So now this is just the very beginnings of what we're doing. Now I can move around and I can choose what colors I want. The thing that I want to show you now, this is just an example of what you can do and about the changes that will happen. So if I go back into here and I decide that in this very center, I decide I want to audition as something else. What is important is to unselect all of that, get out of that. And over here underneath Quiltster, it says there's a padlock. And if I hover on that and it turns blue, then it becomes unlocked. You can see how the lock is opened. Now if I select something, I'm only going to be selecting one thing and I can try something and I can choose a different block in that area. Over here, change block, just to try it out, see if I like a different shape in there. Maybe let's try this crystal star and see what that shape will work. Now, I don't know that I'm going to go with that shape because I'm really liking the simplicity of what the center one is. But keep in mind that I've only changed one block. But anytime that you change a block like that, you lose the colors that you've assigned to that very center. So you can do it that way. There's not a thing wrong with it. But if I want to say, no, I want to go back to it, I'm going to go back up to that padlock and click on it again and lock it. That means that everything is locked. So now I'm going to choose a different diamond. I don't want to go into that same diamond that I've already worked in. I've got a different diamond. But if I go back in and I want to recolor that, all I have to do is I click on the section of that diamond that I want. That is a J4. It tells me J4, all of them have to have that dark green, which is pine. I have to go down here to where it's the palette and I put that in there and then it recolors all of what's in there. Well, with the exception of, guess what? What I did is I did save it. I locked it. But now I have to go back in, unlock it again. And guess what? I have to go back in and change that back to the original. Here we go. Edit. I want this block. Change block. That's the block I want to change. Change that block. And we're going to go back to this North Star block. There we go. Now I can save and close. Now I can go and lock that back up because while the colors are missing, the shapes are correct. I'm going to go again to a different block, a different diamond that has the color in it. And we're going to go back through that process again. I'm going to highlight that darkest area inside that diamond, which again is that J4. It is the pine. I'm going to go back down here and I'm going to collect that. Everything is going to go back into it. That one block is going to be recolored correctly. Now I have this, which is your J3, which is this medium color green leaf. I'm going to go back over here and that leaf is going to be filled in the place that I have already over here. It's starting to fill in. Let's get this blue spike, which is your J2, and that is lapis. We're going to bring that back down and we're going to make sure that it's lapis. Okay, here is my J1, which is this color. I'm going to come right back down and make sure that it is then recolored back into that. Save and close. But so you can go in and change different shapes and sizes. But what I would suggest that is if you want to experiment, if you like it to this point, but you want to just see what it looks like, head on over to this sidebar over to the left where it says duplicate and press that button. And what you're doing is you're going to be duplicating that project to that far. Okay, so now we're gonna call this Stella Maris demo, Stella Maris demo uh, version 2. And over here, this is also it's YouTube. How about if I spell it right? YouTube demo. Okay, there we go. Create your duplicate. Because if you have what you like, you don't want to mess with it to the point where you can't return back to it. But what you do get, it'll take you very back, all the way back to the beginning of your projects, or well, let's see where it'll take you. So it takes you back to that. Let's go into projects. Would you find that button up in the upper left hand where it says projects? And now you can go and back here. And so what you'll see is that there's your Stella Maris demo and your Stella Maris version 2. If you want to make alterations and changes to see if you want color or um, if you want different shapes, this is where you will go to make it. And you can do this. You can make as many duplicates as you want, a version 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, until you find the one that you want. And then when you find the one that you want that you really like, it's a good idea to then click on these three little dots here, and you'll get the option of of renaming it or deleting it or sharing it or whatever you want to do. You can even get a print view, which is, I think is even better. And then you'll get a bigger picture. And as it's working on that, here we go. Let's see what it's got. There is the print view. The next thing that I want to show you is that from here, you can print the information for what you have already. It will tell you, excuse me, it'll tell you all of the different blocks that you've chosen. You've chosen a J and an L and an M. Oh, and here's K. And over here is your tiny ray border, which is your F border. It gives you all of that information so that you know what it is. It also will give you a cost on what each individual unit will cost. So the papers will cost $6.50 for your first round, and it makes an 8, repeat of 8. This blank and this blank are included in your instruction booklet, which you will also need to order. Then your tiny ray border, which is you'll make 4 of these because that's an entire side, and the papers for that will cost $25.50. And then your leaf alternate, which is your K unit, it'll make 8 of these, and it'll cost $6.50. So in a nutshell, very quickly, you can see what the beginning charges would be for that particular thing. You will also need to include an instruction booklet for this, um, which will have these your L and your M rounds will be included in that instruction booklet on how to do that. Um, but it is an additional cost. At this point, I don't know what that is, but I don't want to take you into that just yet because that's not the main point of what this is. But I do want to show you that you can then click on this little print icon right here. You click on that, and depending on what printer you have set up, is whether it'll not it'll come set up as black and white or color. I had to switch my printers to color, and this is what I print on. Now, inside of here, now I'm going to cancel that because I don't really need that right at the moment. But what is below where your block information is the different levels of reports that you can have. If all you want to know is your fabric requirements, you already know that you will need this much fabric in order to create what you've already designed. As you add more units and more fabric and more selections, this list is going to increase. Whatever colors you use more of, this number over here will change. But if you add more individual colors and elsewhere, then this list of what those colors are will increase, and the yardage will reflect that. If you want to know according to by block, let's click on by block. Okay, so by block you have um, this color in this block means you'll use this color in the J1, and that's how much of it you'll need there. Let's keep going and see if we can find that color repeated. We do not. So at this point in time, the only place you have this color is in the J1. Now we have this color, and you will find it in a K2 and a J2 and the M1. You're going to find it in 3 places. Let's go see if we can find them up top in the picture. This is your J's, which is this long one, and your K's, which is this line right here, and your M's, which is this right here. So that's your 3 places that you can find that fabric. What's fabulous about it is if all you want to do is you want to pick up this blue fabric and cut that blue fabric, you know that your K2s, you need 2 6.5-inch strips. Your J2s needs 3 3.5-inch strips, and your M1 needs 4 strips at 5.5 inches. I think that's brilliant. But one more report is available, and by group. Okay, so here is your F's. We haven't even begun to fill that in, but we do have the L's. And the L's have L1 and L2 is just your green. Your M is just your blue because let's look again here. These are your L's. They're L1. Whoops. There we go. L1 and L2. Get back out of that. L1 and L2. So that's what it showed below. And here's your M group. There is just your M's. But let's look and let's keep going down back here. We don't even have the F's colored. So let's keep on going down. Now our K has 3 colors. There's a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. And our J has 4 colors. It's a light green, a medium green, a dark green, and before we got to those last 2 greens, there's a medium blue. So it's J1, J2, J3, J4. And inside of that, you'll need your J1 fabric and then your J2 fabric, and that's the total yardage. J3 fabric, that's the total yardage. And the J4 is the total yardage needed to do that particular unit in those particular colors. You don't get individual cutting instructions or cutting guidelines in the by group, but you do get them in by block. So that is a pretty quick uh, blast of a tutorial for you to understand what you do inside of um, Quiltworks. So back to the main camera. I got to put my glasses back on so you can see me, I can see you. I had to take them off in order to see the computer screen better. But this is kind of a lengthy vlog, but hopefully this will begin to show you what you can do inside of Quiltworks, not just for the Stella Maris mixer series or any mixer series, but what you can do and how you can use that tool of Quiltster in designing your own pattern, in picking your fabrics, in changing some of the blocks where it allows you to do that, because there are other patterns that allow that, but it's the tip. Believe me, it is the tip of the iceberg of what you can do. So if you were ever curious, I would say I would really recommend that you go to the Quiltster website and sign up for just 1 month. 1 month and play with it for 1 month and see if you like it. And if you don't, no harm, no foul. You can find a certified instructor and a certified shop owner that are trained in these, and they can help you with that. But if you want to do it yourself, you have the tools and the capacity to do that. Now, what I would say is that if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer what I can. Post those questions here in the comments below. And if you want to learn more, then ask me and we'll see what we can do for you. If you want to find a certified instructor closer to you, then you can go on the Quilt Works website and search in your area to find a person that is closer to you in order for them to help you. I don't mind doing it online if you're not local, but whatever works for you best is what you need to do. I think that it's important to keep in mind that the sky is the limit in what you want to try to accomplish and what you want to try to tackle. But the biggest thing that I can say to you is that small bites. You can eat an elephant. You can just take it one bite at a time. You can learn anything you want to learn. Just take it one step at a time. The most important thing to keep in mind after that is don't start underneath the tail. Who will go back for a second bite if you do that? Don't pick the hardest thing. Don't go where it's the stinkiest thing of doing it. Don't go where you dread it. Find a spot on that elephant that is enticing to you, that makes you excited to try it again, and keep trying and keep doing it just one step at a time, one bite at a time. And you can do this. It's a really fabulous tool. I don't think that there's anything out there that is as exciting as this is to me. But keep in mind that in the comments below, I will put both the Quiltster website address link as well as the QuiltWorks link. So you can click on those and they can take you directly to those places. I just want to give you the best information that I can. I am not the all-out authority. There are many others, including excuse me, including the people that work directly with Quiltster. But I would really recommend that you give it a try, give it a shot, even if it's just for $10 for 1 month. That's 30 days. And if you go back for one day, one moment of every day, you've gotten your money's worth. And to find out if it's a worthwhile project for you to dive into. But I'm really excited that you stopped by. I hope I didn't move too fast through the whole thing, but the beautiful, that's a new word. The beautiful part of all of this is that you can watch this as many times as you want. So don't forget, click like on the button, click subscribe so that you can come back and see it, and you get notified of every single time that I post new content. Look in the comments below where I put the websites and just explore. Come back and see me again soon. I hope you do. There's always going to be something more that I have to share with you. But thanks for stopping by. It was a lot of fun. Thanks. Bye.